Hopefully that mistake isn't going to be an issue. Welcome back to Knucklehead Garage. We are going to pick up right where we left off in the last episode, in which we made a ton of progress with the 6-inch chop of our latest project, Rat Rob. In the last episode, we were able to cut the roof off, chop out that 6 inches, and determine the extension of the roof. I have done nothing to the door, and that's the focus of this episode, is to get that door chopped so we can actually close it. There are two things that I've done since the last episode, both of which are going to allow me to fill the gaps that were created in the extension of the roof. The first, I took this back band section here and I cut it down to the right width to be able to fill that gap. Similarly, I took the section that I cut out here and chopped that down to the right size, or roughly the right size, to be able to put back in here. There's a little more work I want to do to make sure everything lines up enough that I feel comfortable welding these guys in and then turning my attention to the door. I already know that this step is going to require the most amount of patience. It's going to take the most amount of time, but it's really the most important step, probably in the whole process. And I've mentioned this before, I'm not planning on bondoing or painting this thing, so I really want to get these things lined up as good as I can before I do the final weld. So I'm going to jump right in, remove the tape, and just start tacking and see how far I can get before I encounter an issue that I have to take a different approach. Pretty psyched how this turned out so far, just getting these tacks on. Everything is lined up pretty nice. I had to do a little bit of hammering on this side, as you saw, and I am left with this sliver, which I'm going to have to figure out how to fill. But overall, things line up pretty good, at least on the driver's side. The passenger side is a different story altogether. Coming around this bend, I had to do a lot more massaging with that hammer, and I'm left with this offset here, which I'll have to figure out, maybe do a stress relief cut there. But the bigger issue was, once I got things fully welded, this gap here reduced by about 1/2 inch. I determined that the roof was just down a little bit, so I went into the basement and I grabbed one of these adjustable lolly columns, which I had from a house renovation, and I was able to pretty easily apply some load to get this back up, and now this is just under 2 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to keep this lolly column in here for a little while I tack the front A-pillars and then start getting onto filling the voids in the roof. Not the best welds I've ever done in my life. I've got the A-pillars tacked in there, and I did have to do a fair amount of work to get those lined up, and it's not perfect because the cross-section of the A-pillar changes as you go down, but they're pretty good. I did have to actually stretch the roof apart a little bit because there was a slight taper in the windshield there as well, but I'm pretty happy with that, how that turned out. These channel sections, they actually fit pretty well. There's a little bit of tuning I'm gonna have to do to get these lined up on the inside, And now I'm turning my attention to this top band section. This is the last fill piece that I have to do before turning my attention to the doors. And as you can see, I am using these clamps as well as magnets once again. So I thought it would be a good time to show you how I'm using these clamps. And a fair warning, if you're gonna go out and buy these, turn Safe Search on in Google because these are welding butt clamps. They're readily available. I got these on Amazon. I think it was 8 of them or something for 15 bucks, so they're not really expensive, but they are very handy. I've actually used them a number of times already. So let me show you how they're supposed to be used. So this is what they look like when they're assembled. Once you start to loosen the wing nut, you'll start to see how it's put together. Get that bar that drops all the time. And then you've just got a piece of sheet metal that's attached to a thread. So I'm going to take this piece and come in from underneath. You do need a gap there, obviously. Small gap. To get that through, you're going to get that bar in there. And then once you start tightening it, you're lining up those pieces of sheet metal. So when you come in and you do that weld, you've got a nice local planar surface. And you have to do these a number of times throughout. It's the next day. I was out here pretty late last night and I was struggling trying to get this curvature the best that I possibly could, and it just wasn't working out. And I know this thing isn't going to be perfect, but I want it to be as good as I can make it. But I'm really just trying to get kind of flat in the middle and then to roll off back to this side. What I've done is I got that lolly column back out and I've been pressing up there with a piece of wood. Just trying to get everything set as much as possible before I start welding. The roof's now tacked on there. It's not perfect, but it is in good enough shape to actually start the chop on the doors. But before we do that, we're gonna do a little bit of a side quest. I've got an issue in my garage. I've got 3 project cars, I'm not complaining, but I need space, and I need space to put these tires and a bunch of other things, and I've been looking around for shelving I can put on the wall or things I can hang from the ceiling. I took a look back in the shop and I remembered when I set this shop up, which also needs a clean and an organization, I got these wire racks from Flexi Mounts. So I looked on their website and I found another product that I think I'm gonna be able to use to get these tires stacked somewhere else. Since our garage is pretty much at capacity, I'm gonna try to use the shed that is also part of this garage to try to get a little bit more storage. And you can actually see the product that we're gonna install on the ground there. But let me take you on a quick tour of the shed. It is directly above the workshop. As probably most of you experience, it kind of becomes a dumping ground. And I gotta do a little bit better in terms of storage. But this product should be perfect for this area. It's a GL1 Flexi Mounts 4x4 lift. And it's got a 300-pound capacity. So let's figure out how to install it. Let's get some of this stuff out of here and get organized. fully installed and loaded up. So we are ready to try it for the first time. And the first thing we realized, Mabel actually realized this, is there's an integrated safety lock, which is kind of nice. So you got to pull that out of the way, and then you're ready to crank. And so this is pretty heavy right now, so we're gonna switch to a power drill, which is a nice function. There's just a hex on the end there, so you can easily take the handle off, and you can crank it up. We are all set up. It took us about an hour, probably something I could have done by myself, but super helpful to have Mabel, as usual. And we just regained a lot of square footage in the garage and up here, and I will be using this thing a lot. Super easy to take up and down, so thank you Flexi Mounts for letting me try this out. And for you viewers, I will put a link in the description below. They're having some good deals coming up soon, so there'll be an offer code that you can use to get this product and others. So let's get back to chopping the doors. What do you think? Yeah. All right. The chop on the doors is going to be very similar to what I did on the roof. So the process is going to be take the top of the door off completely, then fine tune how much I need to take out back and front to get it to close, and then take that back piece here, weld it in here, and hopefully everything fits. So let's do it. Some of you guys may have noticed when I made that first cut, I actually cut on the wrong side of the tape. But it was somewhat arbitrary, and I'm hoping it doesn't bite me. I originally had the cut of the door lining up with the cut of the body, and now I'm kind of offset by about 1.5 inches. And it looks like, from a fitment standpoint, it might be fine. It might be actually better. So hopefully that mistake isn't going to be an issue. The door's now back together enough that I can actually open it and close it, which is pretty awesome. I've got it tacked together. I've got plenty more to do, but I'm pretty happy how the joints turned out. Everything, for the most part, lines up. There are a couple tweaks I'm probably going to have to make going forward. But there is one thing that's been bugging me that I'm going to try to fix real quick. The door's actually slightly concave here, just the door skin itself. And I have done nothing to try to bring it out. So I'm just going to spend a minute and see if I can just pop it out and get it better than it was. Wow. That was the easiest and probably most satisfying dent removal I've ever done. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner, but it's done, and this door is pretty much done, at least tacked together. I've got a lot of welding to do here, a little bit of massaging. I've got hours and hours of welding to do on the rest of the truck, and I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do that leading up to the next episode, and I will keep you guys up to date on how that goes, and I'll show you the progress. But next episode, we're actually gonna change gears. I'm gonna start looking into the drivetrain. This is a stock straight six 220 cubic inch silver diamond engine from International, which was a pretty standard engine for them in the early 50s trucks, as well as tractors, actually. I don't know the condition of this engine. I am told it ran when parked, just like a lot of vehicles, but I did scavenge a bunch of parts. The carburetor here, the water pump, all to get Wally over there up and running. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the drivetrain for this rat rod, but I figure, why not try to get this running before I decide what I'm going to do next? So make sure you guys stay tuned for that Will It Run episode. And if you guys like this stuff, as usual, make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And I will catch you on the next episode. See ya.
No, 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 no. Red rum. Banana, no, 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 no. Red rum.